Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Taylor, and this is Kickback Talks. And you know what? If you got your blunt, light that shit up right now. And if you got your drink, hey, I know it's 4 o'clock somewhere, so take a motherfucking shot for me. Here on Kickback Talks, we like to discuss different topics, and I'll give my opinion. But always remember that my point of view is my point of view, in my opinion. You're always entitled to have your own perspective. Even though we bring in different outlooks from different angles, you're always entitled to your own perspective because these opinions are my motherfucking opinions. Let's chat. Let's talk about happiness. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, today I pulled the word happiness out the bowl of randomness. What a coincidence. Yo, but have you ever asked yourself, are you happy, satisfied, or just moving through the motions for likes or subscriptions or friends? Are you happy? And if so, what makes you happy? Some people like to put the word happiness together with relationships. And that made me pull up a quote that Will Smith said. He said, "Her happiness is not my responsibility. She should be happy and I should be happy individually. Then we come together and share our happiness. Giving someone a responsibility to make you happy when you can't do it for yourself is selfish." Let that sink in.
Message.
Okay, Will. Nah, but seriously, what do you guys think about that quote? A lot of people like to put the responsibility of their happiness on other people in any type of relationship or partnership. If the other person is worried about your happiness, how are they going to be able to take care of themselves? Now, when it's a relationship, that's 50-50 because everybody has to give and everybody has to take. It's a balance. You know what I'm saying? So the happiness should be shared, not just felt deserved or owed to. You know what I mean? So, and yo, reading that quote made me pull up this article. And it's called, "A Nobel Prize winning psychologist says most people don't really want to be happy." And it's from Quartz. What y'all talk about? We think we want to be happy, yet many of us are actually working towards some other end, according to cognitive psychologist Daniel Kahneman, winner of the 2002 Nobel Prize in Economics. Kahneman contends that happiness and satisfaction are distinct. Happiness is a momentary experience that arises spontaneously and is fleeting. Meanwhile, satisfaction is a long-term feeling, built over time and based on achieving goals and building the kind of life you admire. On December 19th, podcast Conversation with Tyler, Kahneman explains that working toward one goal may undermine our ability to experience the other. For example, research measuring everyday happiness, the experience that leave people feeling good. He found that spending time with friends was highly effective, yet those focused on long-term goals that yield satisfaction don't necessarily prioritize socializing, as they're just busy with the bigger picture.
Message.
I've gotten that complaint before from friends like, "Damn nigga, you work too much, you always hustling, yada 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 yada." But you know, gotta make money some kind of way. Such choices led to conclude that we're not as interested in happiness as we may claim. Altogether, I don't think that people maximize happiness in the sense this doesn't seem to be what people want to do. They actually want to maximize their satisfaction with themselves and with their lives. And that leads in completely different directions than the maximization of happiness, he says. In an October interview, he argues that satisfaction is based mostly on comparisons. Life satisfaction is connected to a large degree to social yardsticks, achieving goals, meeting expectations. He notes that money has a significant influence on life satisfaction, whereas happiness is affected by money only when funds are lacking. Poverty creates suffering, but above a certain level of income that satisfies our basic needs, wealth increases happiness. The graph is surprisingly fat. The graph is surprisingly flat, the psychologist says. In other words, if you aren't hungry, and if clothing, shelter, and your other basics are covered, you're capable of being at least as happy as the world's wealthiest people. The fleeting feelings of happiness, though, don't add up to life satisfaction. Looking back, a person who has had as many moments may not feel pleased on a whole. The key here is memory. Satisfaction is retrospective. Happiness occurs in real time. In his work, he found that people tell themselves a story about their lives, which may or may not add up to a pleasing tale. Yet our day-to-day experience yields positive feelings that may not advance that longer story, necessarily. Memory is ending. Feelings past, many of our happiest moments aren't preserved. They're not all caught on camera, but just happen. And then they're gone. Take going on a vacation, for example. According to the psychologist, a person who knows they can go on a trip and have a good time, but that their memory will be erased and that they can't take any photos might choose to not go after all. The reason for this is that we do things in anticipation of creating satisfying memories to reflect on later. We're somewhat less interested in actually having a good time. This theory helps to explain our current social media driven culture. To some extent, we care less about enjoying ourselves than presenting an appearance to an inevitable existence. We're preoccupied by quantifying friends and followers, rather than spending time with people we like, and ultimately this makes us miserable. We feel happiness primarily in the company of others. However, the positive psychology movement that has arisen in part as results of his work does emphasize spontaneity and relationships, which is a concept he claims eludes him. Still, it's worth asking if we want to be happy, to experience positive feelings, or simply wish to construct narratives that seem worth telling ourselves and others, but doesn't necessarily yield pleasure. Meet a friend and talk it over with them. You might actually have a good time. So yeah, leave a comment and let me know what you thought about that article and about Will Smith's quote. Yo, that article was quite interesting because the psychologist he had took the actual sense of happiness and turned it into not a feeling but like an action kind of sort of. Well, even though it's a verb because you have to be it. But I'm saying like he based it on self-satisfaction and popularity within friends and or you know what I'm saying. And let's listen to some music. So this first song that I'm about to play is called Goosebumps and it's by Jalen Ashawn. And yeah, he's in Atlanta and shout out to him. Yo, keep up the great work, man.
Yeah. I was finna write a song about how I've been hella stressed, but I looked in your eyes and noticed I'm hella blessed. Staring at you on this airplane, I ain't worried about nothing, cause you got me feeling like the Wayne Wade in 03. Yeah, you and me, we got the heat, so bump all that anxiety. But you hit to the side of me, I feel like I'm gliding. And honestly, look, I don't want you saying that you had a better chance without me, that you wish you had made plans without me. Look, I hate to make this song about me, but I really wanna tell you that I still get goosebumps whenever you call. When I pull up to your house in my car, when we kiss you make me sound the alarm. When we kiss that thing go ring, ring, ring. Tell me how me what it is, tell me what it ain't. Trigger happy, you looking by, I might just detonate. Yeah, tell them dudes looking far back. Kidding and kill, I need all that. Let them call, but don't call back. Let them call, but don't. I don't want you saying that you had a better chance without me. That you wish you had made plans without me. Look, I hate to make this song about me, but I really wanna tell you that I still get goosebumps whenever you call. When I pull up to your house in my car. When we kiss, you make me sound the alarm. When we kiss, that thing go ring, ring, ring. I still get goosebumps whenever you call. When I pull up to your house in my car. When we kiss, you make me sound the alarm. When we kiss, that thing go ring, ring, ring. I still get goosebumps whenever you call. When I pull up to your house in my car. When we kiss, you make me sound the alarm. When we kiss, that thing go ring, ring, ring. I still get goosebumps whenever you call. When I pull up to your house in my car. When we kiss, you make me sound the alarm. When we kiss, that thing go ring, ring, ring.
By Jalen Ashawn, and now we're about to get into Vibe You Need by Amber Nicole. Shout out to her. She's from Texas, but she's in New York, so you know she's both coaster, I guess you could say. Bi-coastal. Get into it, Ambi.
I like it, can I get to know you better? You're so dope fly, I can't forget it. Ooh, I like it, can I get to know you better? Cause by the look in my eyes, just might have found a winner. I felt your presence heavy all over me. Tell me where you come from, I ain't met nobody who fit from me. I can't explain the influence that you gave to me. Make a girl just wanna give it all up, heart sunk 60 deep. Baby, I didn't mean to get involved, but I really can't help but fall. Real hard for you, I'ma be real with it and tell you what's the truth. I like feeling this way, so glad you came my way. This energy appeals to me, boy, I'm the vibe you need. I like it, can I get to know you better? You always so dope fly, I can't forget it. Ooh, I like it, can I get to know you better? Cause by the look in my eyes, just might have found a winner. I know what you used to can't compare to this. An easy cure with some substance will get you has been past tense. It's crazy how you do what you do with tension that won't quit. I cannot find the time to make you mine. Cause I'm the vibe you need. Didn't mean to get involved, but I really can't help but fall. Real hard for you, I'ma be real with it and tell you what's the truth. I like feeling this way, so glad you came my way. This energy appeals to me, boy, I'm the vibe you tell me all the things that I wanna hear, that you really, really wanna be here. I wanna give you permission, give me your very undivided attention. Kiss my soul, make it worth my while. I can change your life, I'm all into this feeling you give. Oh, I didn't mean to get involved, but I really can't help but fall. Real hard for you, I'ma be real with it and tell you what's the truth. I like feeling this way, so glad you came my way. This energy appeals to me, boy, I'm the vibe you need.
Yeah, leave a comment and let me know what you think about those songs. The first one was called Goosebumps, and it was by Jalen Ashawn. And the second one, I said the second. And the second one was called Vibe You Need by Amber Nicole. Before we left, we had read an article about how most people don't want to be happy, but they still try to be. I don't understand that. Have you ever tried to put your happiness in somebody else's, or make your happiness somebody else's responsibility? Because I kind of agree with what Will Smith said. If you're personally happy and I'm personally happy, then we should just be happy together. And then that means anything that we do, granted, if we even have like an argument or something stupid, we still will be happy, because at the end of the day, you're yourself and I'm myself, and I understand who I am, you understand who you are. We both have a clear sense of self, so we don't technically have to be upset about anything. And that was like, yeah.
Message.
So what's one of the moments in life that you're happy for? And that made me think. And I was like, yo, one of the moments in life when I was the most happiest was when I came out to my mom. But y'all, catch this. When I came out to my mom, we were arguing. Arguing like everybody tell you, me and my mama have the craziest relationship. Like 1 minute we'll be fussing, the next minute we'll be kikiing, third minute we'll be crying watching TV. Like, it's crazy. But that's just me and her. You know, she loves the drama and we both love the drama. Like, so I can't even talk bad about her, because that's my girl. But yeah, I was in the, I believe, 10th grade. Yeah. And me and my mama was fussing on the way to school. Yeah. Start off the day with breakfast. Not arguing with people, bitches. Like, what the fuck? We about to go to school. Ain't nobody got time for that. Trying to be arguing with you, girl. But anyways, back to what I was saying. We in the car. We arguing, right? And I don't know, she said something to me, and my mentality, like I told y'all a couple of days ago, my mentality was always fight back. Everybody's an op, everybody's your competition. So that was the mindset that I had. So when she said something to me, I hit her below the belt and I said, whatever, bitch, that's why I'm gay. Well, I didn't say bitch, but I'm like, whatever, that's why I'm gay, yada yada yada. Yeah, I like boys, da da da. What you gonna do? You gonna throw me away? You not gonna have your son no more? Blah 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 blah. And she pulled the car over to the side of the road. Mind you, we arguing. Like, while she driving, we was arguing. And she pulled the car over to the side of the road. And she looked me in my eyes and she was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, but we were so mad at each other that she had to digest what the fuck just went on. And granted, I did that shit being petty. Like, it came from a malicious place. Like, oh bitch, I'm gonna tell you this because I'm here below the belt, da 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 da. But at the end of the day, I was still being honest with my mama. But even though it was so much anger and tension in that moment, looking back, that's one of the happiest days of my life, because after that moment I could be honest with my mom. You know what I'm saying? I could tell her anything. I could tell her whatever relationship I was in. I could tell her like what I thought. Like, I can, like, our relationship changed because we became closer. And looking like I said, self-reflecting and reading that article, I had to accept myself in that moment to be like, hey yo mama, even though I'm being petty, this is this, that, and the other. You get what I'm saying? And stand in that. Because it wasn't no going back after you told her the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could keep hiding and be miserable, or you could live your life and be happy and grow, you know what I mean? And become the person that you were meant to be, and become become that sense of excellence that you were meant to stand for.
Message.
You know? And I'm not just talking about myself. I'm talking about all y'all that's listening. Like, you know, sometimes sometimes we have those milestones that we have to step over, and even though it's a small little hump that might not be so big to everybody else, it might be gigantic to you. And so the way that you look at it and the way that you observe it and the way that you attack it is what's gonna make you understand what it is that you have to do to get over that hump. You know what I mean? Because everybody's struggle not the same, but I'm not gonna say that we all ain't going through something, or we all haven't gone through something. He said that happiness stemmed from satisfaction, which I don't believe is true. He said happiness happens in real time, which is like right now. So like if you with your friends chilling and you laughing and da 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 da, you're happy right then. It's gonna go like away when you come back down to normal, but in that moment, in that time, you're happy. Happiness happens in real time. And he said, but it's also satisfaction, which is a long-term goal. What are you going to do to make you satisfied about your life? What are you going to do to make you satisfied about your job? What are you going to do to make you satisfied about your relationship? What are you going to do to make you satisfied about your friendships? What are you going to do to make you satisfied about your weed men? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do? And how you going to do it? But that ain't none of my business. I'm just asking the question. Satisfaction, I personally believe that everybody wants to be satisfied with their life. Nobody wants to have a life that's full of fuck ups, and I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I'm saying that nobody just strives to, you know, not be proud of who they are. That's me personally. And if you're around some people that don't know how to be proud of what the fuck they are, I believe that you might want to remove yourself from that situation, because yeah, it might be a little bad for you. But you can't compare yourself to the people around you. You can be inspired by the things that they do, but to compare yourself to them and like you should have won or you should have received something and then they gave it to somebody else, I believe that we've all been there. But the thing about it is how you get over it. If you handle it like a bitch, then ain't nobody gonna wanna fuck with you. But if you do what the fuck you gotta do and just make it work, make it happen, and make it up, then I believe that you will be proud of yourself, because one, you held on to your integrity, and two, you kept your morality, you kept your humanity behind you. You ain't turned into a beast or into a savage, but you actually kept that sense of self, you know? When those not physical but spiritual chains are binding you back, and it might be anything that you might feel like is holding you down, and not even from society but from yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like the judgment that you put on yourself, the judgment that you send towards yourself, that anxiety that you put behind the things that you have to do, the pressure that you challenge yourself for, that unhealthy pressure. Because I'm not saying that it's not good to be like, yo, you got to do this, yo, you need to move like this. But at the end of the day, to fall into that dark place and being confused about what it is that you stand for and what it is that you do, you will never be able to be happy, because you will always be binded and held and constricted. And like we said, you ain't never gonna be able to grow or fly, because at the end of the day, we all have to take steps forward and get somewhere. So what makes you happy? And it can be a job, it can be a hobby, it can be a person, it can be a animal, it can be a photo. Whatever makes you happy, do your best to reciprocate that. And just spread the fucking love, yo. But I do believe that happiness is based on reality. If it's real and it makes you feel good and it makes you happy, then yeah, it's your reality. And if it takes you being in that real place to be satisfied, then yeah, but I don't just believe that you have to only be satisfied, because nigga, you could be satisfied with your life and miserable as fuck. But once all of those chains are gone, once you walking in the way that you want to walk, and using the voice that you want to use, standing on the things that you stand on and stand for, and surrounding yourself with people that embrace not only your strengths but your weaknesses, and they help you understand your weaknesses and understand like how you should move, then yeah, you have every reason to be happy, because you're blessed.
Message!
You're blessed. And we all have to remember that. We all have to remember that. I know I might be a crazy person at times, but I still know that I'm blessed. And I hope that if you listening to this, you know that you blessed. Because we don't do this shit for nothing. Sometimes we hide behind social media for happiness. And remember that the first week we released these podcasts and we had that episode about masks, yo. And we talked about that. How we try to change the things around us, or just put on a smile and just, be okay with everything. And we really just miserable as fuck. That's not healthy at all. Don't be insta flexing when you know that you ain't got it. Sit your ass down somewhere. That dude said it's usually the people that be always happy, that's always working, that's personally happy within themselves, not the people that you see up on Instagram and up on da 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 da. But you always have to remember to check on your strong friends. I just want to throw that out there, because that's a quote, and we gotta remember that. We'll always check on your strong friends. But also, some people do use the internet as a shield to hide from the actual reality of the real world. When shit is crumbling and falling down, a bitch will get on motherfucking Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and post a picture and make it seem like, oh, everything's alright, because they're flipping the narrative and not standing in what it is that they fucking really standing in. And I'm not telling you to just throw your business out there to the whole world. Don't nobody want to know your business. But if your friends are actually on these platforms and using these platforms, and you feel like you need to say something, I believe that that's okay for you to post a picture. Don't be looking all hurt and stuff, but you might be listening to some music or just play a song and be like, that's how I'm feeling, da 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 da. And let your friends, look out for you. Even though in our personal lives, we might not be A-list celebrities, but you have people that look out for you. You have people that you're connected to. You have people that you share things with, and people that care. Or, some people might not give a fuck about you, but most of us have people that give a fuck about us.
Message!
And you want to keep a certain look up for them. Do you guys believe that we'll take to social media to hide what it is that we're actually going through? Personally, I don't. I post on my personal page probably whenever I get some fire pictures, and that's just me. That's just how my Instagram works. But I do believe that I have friends that do that. I do recognize that behavior. And I just think that the topic is happiness. And if you are in a situation or in an environment that generally does not make you feel worth it or feel happy or feel, valued, I believe that you should remove yourself from it and put yourself in something that inspires you and gets you actively inspired and makes you smile and makes you laugh and makes you happy, because happiness comes from inside of you. It doesn't just come from your boyfriend or from your mama or from your dad or from your family or from your friends. Those are ingredients to my happiness. So my partner is an ingredient to my happiness. My mom and my dad is an ingredient to my happiness. My siblings are an ingredient to my happiness. My in-laws are ingredients to my happiness. My nieces and nephews are ingredients to my happiness. So it's not just one person's responsibility, because they each move differently and they each have different things that they bring to me. So I can't just say, oh, it's your job to make me happy, and if you don't, fuck you, because that's not fair. But if they do something that I disagree with, it is my job to say, yo, I disagree with that and I don't believe that we do that, and we can either agree to disagree, or you can take my opinion or my suggestion and move the right way. Period. No, I'm just fucking around. But yeah, so what are you? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Or are you just posting pictures for Instagram knowing damn well that you miserable as fuck? And if you are happy, I say take a moment to be grateful for what it is that you're happy for and share your happiness with it. You know what I mean? Because it does take just you to make yourself happy. But to spread a little love to, the simple things around you couldn't hurt a bit. Yo, I'm Denzel Taylor. This has been Kickback Talks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with the people around you, with the people that you know.